Hello and welcome back. Today we're working on my 2013 FRS and we're going to be doing a JDL V2. I don't even know if it's V2.1 right now or V3. I might have just made the V3 part up, but it's 2025 and it is September 10th. We're going to be doing this, and if you are a Instagram follower, this is the same place I rebuilt my engine. So we're back. Let's do this. So right now we have from bumper, core support, bash bar, we have the air intake off. Please mind, it's a busy street. If you know 30 seconds, well, I'm not going to say that. But we got the manifold off, headers. All is clear. I started mounting the Vibrant oil cooler since I have space. But we're going to have to get all the way over here too for the Velos kit. We're in the beginning stages. I just got, let's get a look up, see? I just got the oil pan off. And we're going to go ahead and also install a Killer B. No, this is actually the IAG. I was going to go Killer B, but I was buying from Summit, I believe. Or I just ordered this straight from IAG. We got the pickup tube for the oil. So I got a lot of goodies here. Some you know, some you don't. Right now, I went with the Tungsten Recirculated Turbo Kit from JDL. We went ahead and picked up my oil cooler and all my oil lines from Vibrant. They do a dual pass oil cooler, and it was the same price as a single pass, and it actually has side exits, so when I mount it, it will fit perfectly over there. We have the Velos AOS air oil separator. So really cool thing. Speaking with the guy from JDL, this is the blow-off valve. I have a duplicate version of that without the blow-off valve. So he provided me a second because I'm thinking about running this kit without a blow-off valve so I can get that noise. Some say it's surging the turbo and it starts spinning backwards. It doesn't spin backwards, it actually slows down, and the air you hear is the trapped air coming back through, slowing down the turbine from where it was spooling. So it doesn't totally spin backwards, but it does put pressure on the turbine, causing that. Yes, you're going to avoid your warranty with your turbo. You're going to avoid anything that about replacing your turbo. And yes, it's going to wear quicker. Whether that's 5 years versus 4 years, or 5 years and 4 years and 11 months. These turbo kits, the bearings are awesome. Turbos, the bearings are awesome. It's new, and greater technology over and over again. And the better we get, the less pressure we're going to have. Oil, coolant, this is going to be more than enough. I'm not shooting for high numbers. This is 86. I built it in the driveway. Pretty much all it has is upgraded ARP studs. Everything is stock. I have the new valve spring situation from Toyota. Toyota is the worst. if I've got to say, not the brands, but the service, they help you absolutely nothing. Once you touch your car, they're done. Maybe that's normal for you guys, but if I'm willing to sign over like responsibility and all the deeds just so I can get you to, you know, 12-point inspect my car and make sure everything's up to date, or 100x point inspection, whatever it is. I just want to see if I did a good job. As soon as I pull in the Toyota, if it's not just buying OEM parts, they don't want to talk to me. So let's get this turbo kit on. I'm not going to give you up to date, second to second, bolt to bolt advice. I'm just going to clue you in and show you what I got, how it looks, and how this process goes. Let's get into it. So, the main difference, well, there's a couple differences, but so this is the original. Let's see if I can get back to it. There we go. This is the original pickup tube. So, one, it has that bend, and if you know FRS, BRZs, any gen has an issue with oil. If you're watching this now, go ahead and buy your oil pressure gauge right off the bat. Let's just do that. These cars are sold to a younger demographic, and a lot of times this is somebody's first car. These cars are awesome. For the dollar to dollar value for what you get, it's pretty nice. You get a good looking car, great looking car, with plenty of modifications available and a very cheap price. Especially if you go aftermarket or private sales, you can get these into the thousands. I mean, like couple 5,000, 4,000. It's a lot of work to be done, but if you're looking to turn a wrench and work on your own car, bang for your buck. I happen to get mine's aftermarket, 32,000 miles from the dealership, and I love it. This is like 6-7 years later. But it's for a younger demographic. So pick up an oil pressure gauge just to keep a second eye on your oil. Because a lot of these engines go, and it's just from starvation or decontamination. Either way, low oil, no oil, bad day. So right here, this is the pickup tube. And if you're being enthusiastic with driving this thing, this works against you. It just straight up works against you. Not anything. People are going to dog their car out and it's going to last. But as soon as you start having that low oil, this is something to look at. Also, tracking your car. The right-hand turn starvation, real thing. So IG and then also Killer B have something similar. This is a thicker tube to support more oil being pulled, and it's straight, and it's a direct replacement. You have the filter difference, so there you go. I'm gonna put this on the car. I'm gonna wipe down the outside so I can re-put the sealant and place my new oil pan that has the bung welded on from JDL, and then we can get back to installing the Recirc kit and the turbo up top. Alright, so in terms of what to use for your sealant, Permatex is awesome. The regular gasket sealing is great if you have 24 hours, and 90 minute right stuff is great if you have 24 hours and you just want to get through your steps faster. So 90 minutes to seal for all the oil to go back in. I'm not going to be putting the oil back in tonight. I just want to move through the steps faster. So we have the AIG filled pickup tube in. and we have scrape clean all the previous sealant from the engine. So, boom. Hold on. Sorry. Flip, flip, flip. There we go. All right, so we're gonna scrape clean everything from the engine. All right, and there is the AIG oil tube. All right, Gimbals mentioned hitting the endpoints. In terms of what I use the handy dandy scrape tool. So this is just a plastic knife with the end snapped off. Right? And then I just scrape. Once I got close to the end, I use brake clean and a microfiber towel just to get it clean. After that, I went ahead, went ahead and I cleaned the new oil pan with the bung there. All right, and we're gonna put it to we have all the gaskets, and I'm gonna lace the tube. Let me go ahead and show you guys what I'm gonna do. Awesome. Boom. So I'm gonna go ahead and squeeze out a little. That's going. I want to snap a little bit more. Snap just a tiny bit more so I can get this resistance. The bead does not have to be big, but it does have to be a bead. Take your time, do it once. You don't want to put excessive amounts, and you can take a break like that, but remember the issue with the second gen BRZs. Excessive amounts of gasket sealer, and then they had it leaking into the pickup tube. So just keep a continuous bead size. Move to the inside of the bolt holes. You don't have to go around. So we're going to go ahead and lace this, put it up. We're going to put the bolts finger tight, not even, just to where the sealing is has pressure on it. We're going to let it set for an hour, and then we're going to come in and tighten those to torque specs. And everything should be good from then. And in the meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and remove the belt from the engine and tip over the air conditioning compressor, and we're going to get to that little PCV valve under there, and we're going to lace that. We're going to pipe one of the hoses there, and also get to the oil pickup as well for the turbo. So those are both located right under the compressor for the air conditioning. And then we're going to go ahead and put that back and put that belt back while this is setting. So I mentioned earlier that I rebuilt my engine, and I was successful, at least until now. I have 10,000 miles on my new engine, and no hiccups. So right now, knock on wood. Do I have any wood? I do. Knock, knock, knock. So now, I've ordered a black stone container. I'm sending in my oil for analysis just to make sure everything's good. And yeah, maybe I should have did it a month or two ago for the turbo, but like I said, I dropped the oil pan and everything looked great. So I'm just sitting that in just in case there's a little metal or a little something. I know now and whatever. Right before I put in the turbo. At least I know it wasn't the turbo's fault. Or if it was the turbo's fault. Let's put this on. Hey guys, day 2. So we ended last night with the oil pan, trying to let the sealant get firm before we tighten the bolts. We also went ahead and routed the front PCV valve that's under the air conditioning compressor. I'll show you right now. So under this is a PCV valve that runs all the way. Well, I ran this back here. So this for me is going to run to my AOS. It's going to sit right over here. So I routed that while I had the air conditioning compressor off. Then I also routed the oil feed line. Alright, so I have PCV valve running, oil feed, and then I have the oil filter adapter plate on with the oil filter. So right now we also have in place the manifold. I trimmed right around here. Might have to trim a little bit higher, but I think I can get on the this is why I went ahead and got the VBAND, because it clips right there. I'm going to run the VBAND this way so I can tighten it. And then I also went ahead and loosened my turbo so it spins. So I can clock that now. And then go ahead, put it on, make sure it's the right, tighten everything up. Then I can go ahead and do the dump tube and get the turbo on. And intercooler, AOS, all the good stuff. But that's the update. See you in a bit. Okay, so we have the turbo tightened on the hot side. I'll show you this. Alright, so hot side is all tightened up. Right here, VBAND clips, VBAND up top, dump tube. We have the sensors in. We have the recirc from the wastegate to the dump tube. And then we're gonna plumb all these lines after, but let me show you the recirc. So when you recirculate your turbo, you're putting all the exhaust that comes out of the dump tube, out of the wastegate, back into your exhaust. So there's no vent to atmosphere, there's no nasty rumble under the car, cutting out the oil pan protector. So here we have the wastegate. And if you're going to do any turbo kit, I definitely suggest you to do VBANDs. So now I'm able to rotate these, get the most opportune angle to tighten, right? And I don't have to do all that annoying cutting of your, this is already tightened, cutting of any Allen keys or wrenches or anything. It just works. It just works. So this is where it connects to the exhaust from the wastegate. Over here connects, and it goes right back into the dump tube, and then the dump tube connects here to the overpipe, and then front pipe, and then all the way out the exhaust down there. Sorry. So overpipe, front pipe, test pipe, whatever you call it, down to the exhaust. All right. So now let's plumb the lines to the turbo, get the intercooler on, AOS, fluids, crank. We just finished the intercooler piping and install. So a couple tidbits. These couplers right here are tight. So what I did was I ended up putting one of these clamps in the middle. I sandwiched it tight, bulging the ends, and then I pushed them on to the intercooler. But I made sure the intercooler was tight so it wouldn't move. So I was pushing against this, and I finally got them on. So now all the piping is complete. From the throttle body, take this off your old intake, to underneath. None of this touches. I did have to trim this right here. I also trimmed down here earlier, and then I moved. There is a connector that goes here. Let's see if I can show you. There's a connector that goes here. I routed that under the fan so it wouldn't have any issues with heat. So this side looks good. Connected, everything's connected now. And one thing about JDL that I love is it's really case by case. So the only thing that says JDL on my kit is here. All the other ones do say JDL, but I strategically placed them in different areas so you wouldn't see it. And then I asked them not to paint this white. I'm going for the discreet, the JDL brand in white. I'm going for discreet, so I just told them to leave it blank, and they obliged. I have the black vibrant oil cooler. I have all the lines tight, and they're running through here. So they're running up under. They're coming through this area here, and they run up behind the filter here. So, as you know, I am not running a blow-off valve, which would go here. So now I don't have to use the brake booster to pull vacuum. So I'm not going to put that T-fitting in just yet. I'm going to do a tune with a blow-off valve eventually just to see the perks. But as of right now, I'm not going to do that. I do have to set up the AOS, which is where this is coming from. There's another line back here. Let's get around there. To the PCV right here. That line right there, that hose. We're gonna disconnect that, and it's gonna come up to here. This is gonna be disconnected, and we're gonna cap it. Once we cap that, AOS is gonna sit here. I'm gonna remove this plate, and I'm gonna wire in the oil to go back in. After that, we'll pipe in the oil to go back in. After that, I will be done. I will be done. I'm going to use that PCV. I'm going to run it back up to the front hose. Right here. Or on the intake side. And that's going to run and connect to the AOS. But after that, AOS piping, wastegate. Wastegate I do have to do. I also have to move one of the fittings. I need to use the rear fitting to control the turbo, which I will put here. So this is where the wastegate is going to go. And then this is where the AOS is going to pull vacuum. Aside for that, then I'll be done. Fill it with fluids, start, and then tomorrow at 12, we have a tuning date at DNA? Is it DNA? No, Turner Tech. DNA is next week. I got some other stuff I gotta do. But Tuner Tech and Hialeah. Hey, the man sounds fucking knowledgeable. And Master Tuner, EcuTech, he's able to teach people how to tune as well. Verified from EcuTech. So let's get all the AOS and piping hoses done so we can get fluids in the car and get this over with. All right, technical difficulties. My memory card got full. So we are looking at the Verus AOS. So I also ran, if you can see down here, that comes from the AOS, draining the oil from in here that is collected, and the air will go back through these middle two hoses. So these two come from the PCV, one from under the air conditioning and one from back here. You take a little bolt out, you put it in there. Verus supplies two of these bolts. They're wide open, so I don't have to have an increaser in between this line. They also give you the increaser, but I figured why do double work. So these two lines run back to the vacuum system up here to the front. All right, so those are your lines. If you had a blow-off valve, you would have to put an additional line in between the brake booster and the blow-off valve. I do not have a blow-off valve. I'm going to surge the turbocharger. So I only have a line for my wastegate, no boost controller either. So wastegate straight up to this fitting by the turbo. That's where you're going to pull boost pressure. After that, I am done. I'm done. Fluids, double check everything, make sure everything's tight, and then send it. So a couple things additional as we get these fluids in the car. I am running Motul. I have been running Motul 030 since I swapped my engine, since I rebuilt my engine. And the oil cooler will take approximately an additional quart. So this is already a liter. This is 5 liters. So it's a little bit more than what you're going to get from 5 quarts. So this has that 0.25 that additionally goes into the engine. So I'm going to use all of this, which will give me 0.75 more. And I should only have to use a little bit of this, but I have a quart left to play with afterwards. Once I fill up the whole oiling system too. So we're gonna check it out. We're gonna check our dipstick, make sure we're good. We're gonna crank it over, not starting, but getting oil back in the system, coolant back in the system. I have my coolant reservoir popped as well. So if I need to add any coolant, that will happen. It's out of that. Everything's tight. Everything's tight. All my hoses are tight. This is a vacuum. Hoses back there. All of them are clamped. I hope to God. Clamp under there. I was like, I hope to God I clamped that PCV valve. I was not quite sure. We have this here. Tight. Tight. Let me get under and make sure this is tight under the turbo. The oil drain. I know the oil drain by the oil pan is tight. Don't know, this is how you're supposed to pour your oil, with the top up, so all the air evacuates as you pour. You don't get any burping this way. And I love that little spout that Motul provides. I got an oil TRD oil cap. It's a little bit smaller and it fits perfect with the oil cooler adapter right next to it. So I don't have any issues with taking it on and taking it off. So let's get the car down lower so I can check the oil level. So I'm right around high. I want to go ahead and turn the engine over a couple times, and then I'm gonna check it again. It shouldn't move oil into the oil cooler. Keys. so you can see. Yeah, so you can see under the car. And then you let me know if anything's leaking. I know that's open. My what?
It's the PTSD for me.
What?
It's the PTSD for me.
Well, it's a dry crank. I'm just trying to put the fluid throughout the car.
It's the PTSD for me.
I didn't touch the car, so it should turn over. There we go. It evened out. It's just a little below high. Just a little below high. All right. Great.
Right here. Oh, it's that.
Let it get up to temp. So it starts cooling. So I am coming from Nippon with another 3-bar map sensor. So we started tuning and we got the car up to 5.3 pounds of boost where the stock map sensor will handle, and then it started freaking out as it should. We switched over to the 3-bar map sensor from Omni, and it would not hold idle, even with the change values. We put my sensor back in, back forth, would not hold idle. So now I am purchasing another one to see if we can replicate the same thing or fix the issue. On the highway, headed back to Tuner Tech. Alright, see you guys later. closing out the video. I'm just finishing editing and I realized that I didn't quite close out the video. So just a couple updates. Tuner Tech down in Hialeah, Florida. Holla at Andy. He'll take care of you. Master tuner, can teach, he can do everything. Give him some time, he's got you. I did have a couple issues during tuning, just with leaks. We went ahead and tightened all those up. The oil feed just would not tighten. So I ran back over to Nippon, my neighborhood superheroes, and they got me situated with a vibrant fitting for the turbo. And I believe it was Albert. I just talked to him and he just knows the sizes, knows the fittings. Gave it to me, went right in, restrictor in, and turned out great. We're about 3 weeks from there. Turbo's been on the road. I got all my gauges set up. I got 2 gauges, the boost and my oil pressure that I had prior. I highly suggest oil pressure for all you newbies, especially in the 86 world. I'll let you know when you're gonna, right before you spin a bearing or something. Boost pressure, I just wanted it constant to see what that was. I also picked up a gauge from Gerald Just Projects. He has a vent gauge, goes in your vent, and you're able to switch through a lot of things, a lot of features. It plugs right into the OBD2 port, and it gives you basically all the referencing from there. I'm able to monitor my water and my oil temperatures. That's why I monitor those. My AFR, all that stuff, I can just click through and monitor there. It's perfect. So all that's installed. The only thing now I have left to do is dyno. I have a dyno session set up at DNA Performance next week. And he's going to be continuing the tune. And I'll take you along for that and let you know how that goes. Before that or after that, I'll be doing another video, finishing it up, letting you see exactly how the turbo turned out, how everything looks, installing a turbo blanket from Funk Motorsports, and just giving you a rundown of all the mods I have on the car previously, because I didn't just throw a turbo on there. There's been some performance upgrades before, just not power adders. So we'll go ahead and go over all that. I still have a lot of parts to install on this build. They're just sitting around. I don't have enough time right now. School, work, taking care of my baby. I don't have enough time. So just stay tuned. Pay attention. We're going to upload more. And if you need any real updates and fast every day, I'm taking pictures. I'm learning how to photograph my car, how to video my car, videography, all this stuff. It's just taking time. But follow me on Instagram, 86.nv. All that stuff is coming out daily. I'm trying daily. And in between 86.nv_. And then in between there and then, I'm dropping a video every now and then. Okay? You guys have a great day. And again, stay tuned.